So right here in red is Ukraine. I mean, it's kind of obvious. And Ukraine decides to declare war on Moldova. And then they start to roll in. And Russia is not too happy about Transnistria being taken away, but yeah. So just to clarify some things, there's no NATO, there's no, you know, major alliance like that. There is no Russia-Ukrainian war present in this universe, so that's why Ukraine's already being aggressive, going to invade other countries. But let's go see the peace treaty real quick. I don't know if the borders look better or it just got worse. So Ukraine really wants Crimea back, but you know, Putin over here did take over it. So yeah, Ukraine does want to go to Belarus, but then we got Putin. So yeah, so Ukraine doesn't have that many options. They got Poland, which is an ally. They got Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania. So Ukraine has a navy, right? They're gonna use the Black Sea to basically just do some of that and do some operations in Georgia. So what if the president got kicked out of power, like Volodymyr Zelensky, or what if he's still in power and is going insane? Right away, going back to the wars, Ukraine already sends in a lot of troops into Georgia, but then Putin doesn't like that because Abkhazia and South Ossetia, apparently they're under threat, so Putin's gonna get involved. I think I should stop saying Putin. I mean, it's funny just saying Putin for some reason. Anyway, going ahead, Russia starts sending in troops into Abkhazia, and then of course South Ossetia. But then, being smart, they're gonna start to invade the rest of the country. So Ukraine right away, yeah, Georgia automatically surrenders. You know, they don't want to fall to the Russians; they want to fall to the Ukrainians. But now Ukraine has a detached piece right here in Georgia, which they now border Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, which is really weird for me to say that. But anyway, let's go look at the peace treaty real quick. Yeah, already this map is looking pretty disgusting. But right away, Ukraine is going to go ahead and do some operations into Slovakia and Romania at the same time. Ukraine and Hungary aren't really best of allies in this universe, so Hungary is going to get in its like own color. Ukraine is a bit upset, but they're just going to let it flow. So anyway, Ukraine starts to send a lot of troops into Romania, which that is a lot of troops. And then the Ukrainians start to push into a little bit of Slovakia. Over here in Hungary, they basically already captured the capital of Bratislava. Slovakia is like, why me? I'm a small country. Like, you can't just attack small countries that literally did nothing wrong to you. Then Hungary says, look at the history books for a second. We own you. You're a part of us. You need to get back what's ours. So right away, Hungary starts sending a lot of troops into Slovakia, basically just taking over the country. And then Ukraine starts sending more troops into Slovakia. And Hungary starts to send some troops into Romania, but goes very slow. But then Romania starts to wake up over here in the east and basically kicks out all these Ukrainians, because you know, Romania's got a pretty good army. And they're not really getting funded by anyone else, which is, yeah. Right away, Romania almost gets its coast. I feel like I've done that so many times in all my videos. I think I should stop doing like the skinny parts of the army being like that. But then over here, Ukraine just sends a lot of troops to Slovakia, and then Hungary gets the rest. So now let's look at the peace treaty right here. Yeah, Ukraine's got some ugly borders now, just because of that. I mean, it's not my fault that Slovakia is a long country. Hungary's troops in Transylvania, well, too bad for them. They're getting kicked out. Oh, would you look at that? Romania's now pushing into Hungary. So yeah, Romania is already pretty excited to basically take back its coast and all Moldova. So now Romania is basically having the height of its time, basically taking over Hungary and basically trying to get Moldova, and also trying to get this other region right here. I don't know what the name of it is. So yeah, this is not good for the Ukrainians nor the Hungarians, in which Ukraine does a really huge resistance, and then right away Ukraine does the same thing, which they take out the coast, and now we have a huge navy wall. And then Hungary slowly but surely pushes out some Romanian troops, but it's not that much. And then right here, Ukraine is just gonna do a thing where they're just gonna have to just run away from the mountains, in which they're gonna do a spearhead, you know, until they start to make a good decision, which they make a pretty good build-up of the troops. And then, you know, the goal is to get to Bucharest, which is right there. Or it's more like right there, I guess. And then basically, Ukraine thinks of a good idea. We should cut off all of Romania right here in Moldavia, take all the land, and take out all the Romanian troops off of Odessa. So yeah, basically it looks like it's a Ukrainian win right here, in which Hungary finally kicks out all these Romanian troops and starts to roll into Transylvania. And then Bucharest gets captured, and then basically Romania is like, Do we surrender, or do we just like waste their time? In which they do, but you know, Romania did lose basically, so let's just look at the peace treaty. And oh boy, the map just looks worse. Goodness gracious, Hungary, if you didn't have claims to Transylvania, then all of our lives would be a lot better, you know. But then Ukraine is like, let's just go down south to Bulgaria, and then Bulgaria instantly surrenders because they just don't want to fight. And so yeah, the borders look a bit better, but still look pretty ugly. And moving on, well, Ukraine is just gonna make their borders look worse, in which they sent a little, you know, thing to Czechia. Poland's like, oh, that's cool, they turn purple. And basically, Czechia's just like, oh, hey, nice, way of saying thanks for helping out. Peace treaty, I guess. And oh my goodness, Ukraine's borders are probably one of the ugliest things I've ever seen so far. But that's because Ukraine has to fix something, which they're going to invade Hungary. Which Hungary's like, Poland would help? Never mind, we should not help. You know, Poland and Ukraine are good allies. But Hungary and Poland, they're also pretty good allies, but you know, Poland's just going to be neutral, not do anything or help anyone. So right away, Hungary is like, wait a second, you know how skinny this land point is right here? What if we just cut off all this land and take the rest of Moravia and Slovakia, and then do another little funny weak point in which Ukraine is quick to catch that and take out all these Hungarian troops. And then they start to roll into Transylvania pretty quickly and do just that and basically get the rest. So now it's just Hungary and Czechia and Slovakia. Right away, Ukraine starts sending a lot of troops into Hungary. The goal is to get Budapest and also just a lot of land from Hungary. And they're going to cut off all these Hungarian troops. And yeah, that is a pretty good way of doing that, Ukraine. And lots of Ukrainian troops push into Slovakia to liberate Slovakia. And then take out Bratislava. And then even pushing into Hungary. There's that. And oh my goodness, let's go see the peace treaty, please. Okay, the borders look a little bit better, but I did decide to give a little bit of Hungary some freedom. And now it's time for Ukraine to go to war with Poland. Yeah, they're gonna go to war with Poland. Why? Land! Yeah, everybody loves land, right? Does everybody love land? Oh, wait a second, look at that! Belarus is purple. Ukraine and Poland individually both declare war on Belarus at almost the exact same time. There's that, in which Poland and Ukraine are like, we're basically brothers, we should stop attacking. Right away, Poland is going to turn red, in which, you know, Belarus, and Russia, oh, and also Russian occupied areas, right? Now we have this, the big war, I guess you could say. Right away, Russia is just going to, you know, roll into Ukraine, take out Mariupol, and then take out most Ukraine cities. Then the Russians and Belarus should start to push into Kyiv, but it doesn't work. Then Poland starts to push into Belarus right here, and then take out Kaliningrad. And then right here, yeah, a bunch of Polish troops and Ukrainians start to roll into Minsk and take out the capital. And then there's that. And then Belarus is like, okay, that's enough. In which Russia starts sending a lot of troops into Belarus. And then a bunch of Ukrainians start to resist and almost take out the Donbass, but very slow. It's very slow. What about Georgia? And then Belarus falls again, but then, you know, it's frozen over here, so there's that. Until a little bit of Ukrainian troops start to push into Bryansk and take out Bryansk. And then Ukraine over here liberates Mariupol, a very bloody battle. Then all these Russian troops get kicked out. And then start a push into Crimea, in which they take out all of Crimea, in which the international community agrees it is officially Ukraine's. One of the bloodiest fights in the Donbass is right here, in which it's like literally, it's just so bad. So a bunch of Russian troops will roll into the Donbass region again, and then it's just like, you know, yeah. And then some Russians start to just flood into Belarus and try to liberate Bryansk. Let's skip a few weeks later, because, you know, I'll spare you the details of what's going to happen next. Yeah, that's not a pretty big front line. Oh, I forgot to color someone in. Yeah, Finland. You know, it's just every mapping video where Finland joins in a war. Take an opportunity, of course, take out Karelia, do the average thing, yada. They did not take out St. Petersburg, that's That's gonna happen later probably. Until Russia just wakes up. Yeah, Ukraine is literally, they know the winter pretty well, so they're just gonna do pretty well. And then Russia, being Russia, they go to war with the Baltics, of course, because you know it's Russia. And then Donbass region, yeah, liberated. Now it's time for all these guys just to basically push into Russia and just like terrifying push until Russia just wakes up again. Blah blah blah. Pretty big stalemate until a couple weeks later after winter's over, and of course to St. Petersburg. And then right away, now time to do another funny wishy push into Caucasus, and basically just to liberate Georgia, in which this does kind of look familiar to what happened in 1942, doesn't it? The goal is not to get Volgograd. The goal is to basically get Georgia and liberate all former Georgia. You know, getting Abkhazia and South Ossetia, getting Georgia. And they're just gonna cut off a bunch of Russian troops, in which this region falls quickly to the Ukrainians. And then Finland starts pushing to Karelia. And so now what? What is Russia going to do with all of its hopes and dreams not being able to happen? Well, they push. They push out to the most important regions, basically just to protect Moscow and try to liberate, try to, you know, get back their shield Belarus, and then basically touch this lake until winter's over again. Yes, this war is pretty long. It is a very long war. And, you know, this is a stalemate right here, by the way. Or was I wrong? And then right away, the push into Moscow is about to begin. I'd say Moscow is like right there. A bunch of these troops started flowing into Moscow, basically, I mean, outskirts of Moscow, in which no one is having a blast, neither is the army, the Russian army. And then all outskirts of Moscow gets taken away, and so now it's just Moscow, in which this is the bloodiest battle. Yeah, a lot of casualties, millions gone. In which, with all hopes being lost, so let's go see the peace treaty, and this is going to be an interesting one. And oh boy, it's getting pretty ugly out here. So yeah, Ukraine. It's got basically all Georgia, and a pretty huge portion of the Caucasus, and then get also a pretty good portion of Belarus, plus some land of Russia. They didn't want to take too much land just because, you know, their goal is to basically connect with Georgia, and basically laugh at Russia saying, hey, we control your dreams now. The Black Sea. This is what the Baltics got. Yeah. Lithuania's borders look so weird. Oh my goodness. That's it right there. That's Ukraine's borders. And oh my goodness, I cannot believe the invasion's been a year long. Hopefully it ends soon, in which both sides can agree on peace. You can check out this video right here, and also you should subscribe.